Hi everyone! I'm just filming video after video after video here. So I just filmed a Criterion haul as well as an Arrow haul. So now is just like this miscellaneous release stack here. I also realized that it's so much more comfortable if I lean back. I don't think the light here, I hope that that light in particular is not annoying, or the lights in general, I guess. But this is so much more comfortable. Yeah, the rest of the time I've been like this, which is fine, but this is better. Anyway, here are movies that I'm in front of. So, I'm not really going in any particular order here. This is just like the stack that they are in. I guess technically it's like most recently bought to least recently bought. Kind of. Very recently, I got Pretty in Pink, this steelbook. I think this is out of print now. I'm not sure if it was like limited, but it is a 35-year anniversary edition. Sorry about the reflection. I know that there is another just regular Blu-ray release of this, but this I think actually has more features, or it was like the same features and I just wanted to get the steelbook instead of the other one. And Pretty in Pink actually is my favorite John Hughes film. I know that he didn't direct it, but he wrote it, and it's my favorite. And I've only seen it a couple of times in high school, so I'm really excited to revisit it. I love Andy's clothes in this. The wardrobe for Molly Ringwald, that's the character that she plays, is Andy Walsh, actually. Yeah, we have the same last name. I always remember that. And I love Ducky in this, played by John Cryer, and I think all the characters in this are like so interesting, and I'm just really excited to revisit it. I watched the entirety of season 4 of Stranger Things earlier this month. I just waited for volume 2 to come out, those episodes, and I was watching some like behind the scenes stuff, and the cast were talking about at various points how Joe Keery, who plays Steve, was supposed to, Steve, I guess, who's my favorite character, by the way. I kind of don't like I don't really like that many characters in Stranger Things now that I am thinking about it, to be honest. Like, Steve is the best. Steve and Will, they're my favorites. Like, Nancy annoys me. Mike was fine at first, but he's like progressively gotten more annoying. Lucas and Dustin are like fun, but then also, I don't know, I guess they're like fun, but they're not like favorites for me. Max has grown on me. Let me just go through all the Stranger Things characters while I'm like holding up Pretty in Pink. Joyce was the best in the first season because she had like a lot to do, but now she just like, what is she doing? I'll never get over either that, like, season 2. Why is her face so dirty in that? I'm actually thinking about rewatch. Okay, let me just put this down while I'm talking about Stranger Things really quickly. Watching the 4th season has made me want to rewatch the entire show, even though I don't even love it. Like, I really liked season 1 and was excited about it, and I feel like I said this before, but I feel like I was one of the first people in the general public to know about Stranger Things, because it was at a time where I like constantly checked Winona Ryder's IMDb page, and so one day there wasn't anything new there, and then the next day Stranger Things was there, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but she's in it and I'm gonna watch it. And then who imagined, not me, that this random show that Winona Ryder was going to be in and is in blew up and became a pop culture sensation all around the world. But season 2, her face is like dirty, and my brother's like, why does she look like she works in a coal mine? Like, he just randomly said that during one of her scenes, and I have never gotten it out of my mind since. Why is her face so dirty in that season? Great. Okay, yeah, favorite characters in Stranger Things are Steve and Will. Those are my top 2. So Steve, the character of Steve, was supposed to die actually in season 1, and thank God he didn't, you know? Because Steve's just the best. But his character was originally sort of inspired by, I don't want to say like based on, because I don't know how like accurate that really is, but like very heavily inspired by James Spader's character here in Pretty in Pink. Yeah, so I'm so excited to rewatch this, as I've already stated a couple times here. This is the back, by the way. It just has this like random quote in pink, which is fine. And then, sorry, I just like kept this on. but the disc looks like a record because Andy works at a record store, and then it's like her at the record store in the background. I'm not going to take the disc out right now, though. And oh yeah, the lady who works in the store with her, I like that character too. Great. So much to look forward to. I'm actually, now that I'm like really talking about it, I hope that it doesn't disappoint. I don't think it will, but will it continue to be my favorite John Hughes film? I think so, actually. I'm pretty confident in that. Okay. Well, speaking of Stranger Things, actually, this is a good a good segue. So I didn't have this movie before, and I just decided to get it when I was making an Amazon order. There were a couple of things that I like had to get, and that were the best option to get from Amazon. I actually don't really make purchases from Amazon that much, but I don't have a Prime account, so I had to hit a certain amount of money in order to get free shipping. So I just added a couple of random titles to my cart, including The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. So I have seen this before, and I mentioned, speaking of Stranger Things, because this is like the movie that I feel like most people know Jamie Campbell Bower from. And it's either this, I feel like I knew him before from, he's in Sweeney Todd. And I feel like that was the first thing that I saw him in, and I was like, oh, he's cute. Who is that? And then, of course, he's just singing Joanna. Like, yeah, just listen to Joanna. And this is what I feel like most people, or I guess young women like me and teenage girls, this is what we know him from, is him as Jace in The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. Or, I forgot, he's also in Twilight. He plays like one of the, what is it, Volturi? Is that what they're called? I didn't read Twilight. I've only seen the movies. But I was going to say, it's really interesting seeing him again in context of fandom because of how, like, big Stranger Things is and how popular he's become. It's not exactly the same by far. Like, Robert Pattinson got so much more hate than, like, Jamie Campbell Bower did and the cast of The Mortal Instruments did for being in this movie and doing this, like, YA adaptation that mainly has a teenage girl fan base. But I just think it's interesting seeing people loving him when the cast here was, like, definitely made fun of because of basically people hate the things that teenage girls love, let's face it. And that, of course, is common with Twilight and the hate that the cast of Twilight got, including Robert Pattinson, and people just, like, hated on him and now they love him. And he's done great movies since Twilight, and he's the Batman, and people like him as Batman. So, again, just think it's interesting, okay? Anyway, really looking forward to rewatching this, actually. I like this adaptation, even though they do make a few strange decisions. I really like the Mortal Instruments books and the overall Shadowhunter Chronicles. I was also disappointed that they didn't continue with these adaptations because I just think that the aesthetic of this, like the Shadowhunter world, is so well done in this. It's perfect. I don't know what the TV show was doing. I could not even get past like a few episodes into season 1, to be honest. But also I was like, sorry, there's just reflection there. But I was reading the books at the same time that the show was airing. So because the show was already immediately diverging from the books, I didn't like seeing these two variations and two sort of storylines happening of the same characters, and I was like already more invested in the book, so I stopped watching the show. I was not a fan of it, even though I know that it has its fan base, just like the movie, okay? And again, yeah, the aesthetic of this is great. I love the casting also of the characters, maybe except for Alec, and Isabel is like kind of lacking. Yeah, I guess those are also like the two actors who are really well casted in the Shadowhunters TV show, I think, as well. And then also, of course, oh my god, he's literally one of my favorite characters and I'm blanking on his name. This is really sad. Wait, I'm actually Magnus, there we go. If I just said their ship name, then I could think of his name. Oh my god, Magnus. I can't believe I forgot Magnus's name. Anyway, here we go. Oh wait, what does this quote say? More exciting than the Hunger Games. I don't know about that because I haven't seen or read the Hunger Games. So, also there's special features on here that I'm really looking forward to because I'm curious if it'll give me insight into different, certain decisions that they made here. Oh yeah, Robert Sheehan as, why am I freaking blanking on names? As literally one of my favorite characters, and I'm blanking on his name. Simon, there we go. Oh my god, I just need a moment. I'm not in the Shadowhunter world right now currently, you know what I mean? So it's taking a moment for my recollection to hit. Simon and Camille. I also am like so not caught up with the other Shadowhunter books, in case anyone here is watching and is actually familiar with Shadowhunter stuff. Alright, moving on. Okay. And then the other title that I like randomly got when I was adding things to my Amazon cart is Gone Girl, which I don't have, but my brother actually has this exact same release. But I added it to my cart because it was $5, so I got this like Blu-ray that is really nice. The only thing is the like paper thing on the back, it's such an old release. Okay, such an old release. It came out in 2014, you know, or at least theatrically came out in 2014. That the sticky thing kind of left a mark there, so that's unfortunate. But it's just the back, so not that big of a deal. And this is that sort of, I don't necessarily know if it's a deluxe edition, but it's more than just the standard Blu-ray case, because it's not a Blu-ray case, it's a digipack. So here is like the digipack case here, and then it comes with an Amazing Amy book, Tattletale. I wonder if this is on Goodreads. That'd be so funny. Okay, yeah, so that's just sort of like the extra part. What is that? Oh, this is the sheet that was on the back. I just stuck it inside because it gives you the information. Unfortunately, it only says special feature director commentary, so I don't really know what else is on here in terms of special features, if there is anything at all, which would be very disappointing if there was no bonus features. So, yeah, Gone Girl, one of my favorite movies. I actually think I like the movie more, but I think that was because, I don't know, do I? Maybe they're on par. No, I don't know. I think that the book didn't really surprise me, so I think I only give it like a 3 out of 5 stars. But in hindsight, if I was just reading it and enjoying it for what it was and not being so caught up in like, well, this is predictable, I probably would have rated it higher. And the movie's so good and enjoyable, and I love that, I mean, just like the page to screen production. Like, I don't even know, just immaculate, you know? Easily one of the best like adaptations, I think, in the past decade. Yeah, full chest, confident about that. Then I got this digibook of Camelot. Oh, lots of shine there. Wow. Oh, that looks great though. It was like on the sword for like one moment, and I'm trying to get it there again, but it's not working. Camelot, winner of 3 Academy Awards. This is based on the musical. I have already watched this. I mean, I've watched all of these. In terms of the individual releases here, I've already seen all of them, because I either bought them already having watched them, or I watched them soon after getting them. So yes, Camelot, I watched somewhat recently. It's based on the musical. First, it just has this Blu-ray disc, and then it has the like book part, which I haven't read yet. I don't know why. I watched all the special features, but I forgot about the book. Oh yeah, look at this really interesting dress. Okay, so this like wedding dress that Vanessa Redgrave wears as Guinevere. This wedding dress has like pumpkin seeds on it. That's what is used as a sort of like sequence. I don't know how well you can see it. But isn't that such an interesting choice? And I learned so much about how, sorry, I don't know their names off the top of my head. Production and costumes by John Truscott. He did a great job. Fantastic. But they did not tell him to slow down or did not tell him no. They just keep going. Yeah, good job. So that made them go extremely over budget, apparently. I think well worth it. I mean, I don't know. It ended up kind of flopping a bit at the box office and was not the final hurrah that Jack Warner wanted. But I thought the costuming was great. The set design was great as well. I think it's a little long. I'm not sure how I feel about the music. I'm not very familiar with the Camelot musical, but watching the movie, I feel like it may be more enjoyable to watch an actual stage production of it. I don't know. I have kind of mixed thoughts on it, but it was worth the watch, definitely. And it's just fun seeing screen adaptations of musicals, in my opinion. And I think, that's how I think a lot of people are introduced to musicals. If they aren't huge musical theater fans or fans of Broadway or don't know how to, like, keep up with Broadway stuff. I mean, now it's kind of easier because of, like, the internet and TikTok, basically, and Spotify, things like that, where you can just discover music and musicals and listen to stuff. I should do like a favorite musicals video. Good idea. Okay, anyway, that's Camelot. It's about it's about Camelot. It's about King Arthur marrying Guinevere and also the creation of the Round Table and Lancelot coming to be a knight of the Round Table and falling in love with Guinevere and their affair. And then I have a couple of DVDs here because they're only available on DVD. I have the, I don't know the year off the top of my head, 1998 miniseries of Far from the Madding Crowd. It's just a 2-part miniseries, so it's like 4 hours though, almost 208 minutes. So each episode is around like an hour and 45 minutes. So pretty long, but honestly it didn't feel too long now that I think about it. I still prefer the 2015 adaptation with Carey Mulligan and directed by Thomas Vinterberg, but this was enjoyable and also like really interesting to see these performances of these characters and just like, I don't know, something about this overall was making me rethink about the characters and kind of assess my stance on particularly like the 3 men that I realize I'm barely giving you a synopsis for any of these movies, but yeah, I literally was just like, Gone Girl, you know what that is. But Far from the Madding Crowd has to do with Bathsheba Everdeen, who inherits her uncle's farm, and she's a strong, independent woman, and no man can bring her down. But she she has like relationships with each of these men here. Farmer Boldwood, sorry, again, the reflection, but Farmer Boldwood, Sergeant Troy, and Farmer Oak. So it's her trials and tribulations trying to keep this farm running and running a farm on her own, and these relationships that she is trying to figure out because she doesn't necessarily want to get married. And she's trying to understand the feelings that she has for each of the characters, well, the guys here. And yeah, the three guys here. Well, this isn't a discussion video, so I won't go like too much into it, but I was like really thinking about Boldwood a lot. I felt like he had a lot of focus in this. I talk about it a little bit in my Letterboxd review for this, so I'll link that in the description. Gabriel Oak all the way, but I do think Sergeant Troy is like super charming, but also of course like he's with Fanny, like him and Fanny, I like them, so I like him, but I don't like him with Bathsheba, and so obviously for Bathsheba I prefer Gabriel Oak. But it's just interesting to see like these renditions of the characters and these portrayals by these actors. Also, this is Colin Firth's brother. I forgot. Jonathan Firth. Okay, I guess that's where I'm gonna end it. And then the other DVD I have here is Lemora, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural from Synapse Films. But this is like out of print, so I found it on eBay for pretty cheap. Especially considering it still had like the plastic on it. It was not even opened. It comes with this, a message from Bird Holland, makeup artist. Interesting, interesting. Well, I didn't read that, so I should do that because I watched this quite a while ago. I was a little disappointed in it, but I still think it's very interesting and like holds a lot of potential for more. And I want that more. And this is about, what's the girl's name? Lila Lee. She runs away. I guess to give you sort of like minimal details of this, she runs away and then she is sort of kidnapped or tricked by Lemora, who is a vampire in a sort of nearby town. Things ensue from there. There's a lot of like metaphors in this about coming of age and becoming a woman specifically, but also like sexuality and the treatment of women. Like there is a very perverted like priest in this that Lila is staying with before she like runs away. Things are in this. Yeah, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural. I think that's such a important like sort of subtitle there. Also, this is it's from 1973. It's pretty short too. It's only 85 minutes, which I guess that's part of my, there could be so much more to this, but if you can find it, definitely check it out. And then the last singular title here that I almost forgot about because it was blending in with other stuff is a 4K release. I'm so glad I got this. It's The Servant on 4K from, what is this? Studio Canal? Yeah, Studio Canal Vintage Classics. There is a more like standard edition of this. This is the collector special edition, this box here. I will open it up for you. This is a Joseph Losey film from, I don't know the year off the top of my head. Oh, 1963. And it stars Dirk Bogarde. And he's fantastic. He's become like, it's hard for me to choose like favorite actors and actresses sometimes. Okay, well, not actresses, I guess. That's kind of easy, because I feel like when people just ask me who my favorite actors are overall, as in actors and actresses, I'm just like, here are 10 actresses I really love. Oh, actors? James Dean, River Phoenix. And then I'm just like silent. Anyway, he's definitely a standout actor, at least, from things that I've been watching within the past couple of years, and this is probably the most standout film that I've seen him in, as well as the most standout Joseph Losey film that I've watched. Let me just repeat the word standout. I did that on purpose, though. I was continuing there. So here is this digipack sort of situation here with this image, which I love that it goes all the way across like this. This also gives you such an indication of like the angles and the setting with this apartment building that pretty much the entire film takes place in. And then here are the discs. So this is, by the way, only region B, so you have to have a region free player. Yeah, the 4K disc and then 2 Blu-rays. The first Blu-ray has the film and then special features on the second disc. So it comes with that. Obviously, that's the movie. It comes with a booklet as well. Is there like a table? There's not a table of contents in here, but it looks like there's some, I don't know, like random images, maybe some poster art kind of situation, press books, notes, it looks like, and part of the script and essays. So that's what's in the booklet. And then there's some, oh yeah, I didn't put these back all the way, because I was showing my brother this, but then there are just these like cards, I guess. They're not postcards. They're just blank on the other side. This is such a well done film. This is about, I guess to give you a description, it has to do with Dirk Bogarde's character, like making his way into the life of this young man by being his servant, but kind of there's like this psychological war going on in a way. He kind of like tries to take possession of him to an extent, not like physically. Well, okay, I guess that could be kind of insinuated. This is something that I feel like a lot is sort of implied or open to interpretation with what their relationship is really like, which now that I'm, okay, yeah. with what their relationship is actually like, or what exact intentions and feelings are of the two main characters. Very interesting. A little bit of like a psychological thriller, but not necessarily. I don't know. I don't want to say that too strictly, like kind of in a looser sense. And I was gonna honestly compare it to Hitchcock. I feel like that's credible. Yeah. Do you agree? Is that this has more, I would say, like it's sort of Hitchcockian, but I feel like this, in terms of like the angles and the way that the setting is played with, is a little bit more, it kind of reminds me of The Third Man. Yeah. Particularly, I don't know, like a couple of scenes, like at the carnival or whatever, at the amusement park, as well as like when stairs are being shown. And then lastly, this went on for much longer than I intended, but I really was on a kick with like talking about Stranger Things for a bit there. Lastly, I have the All the Haunts Be Ours box set, which I very much wanted. I put it off for like a little bit of time, but I got it earlier this year. A compendium of folk horror. So this is a Severin release, and I don't have any of their releases. I mean, except this now. So this is my first. There are plenty of like full unboxing videos, I'm sure, on the internet. So just very quickly, here is the booklet. It's massive. There's like an essay, I'm pretty sure, or something here for each film. I don't remember how many films are in this, but I will tell you what they are. Woodlands, Dark and Days Bewitched, A History of Folk Horror. Of course, that is the documentary that like sort of goes along with these films. So then, yeah, I'm just going to tell you the titles. It doesn't really give you that much anyway in terms of like what's inside. Eyes of Fire, Leptirica. Oh yeah, I think this one's vampiric. Yeah, look at that. Creepy, but cool. Oh yes, V. I really want to see V. I have not delved into this yet. Oh, Witchhammer and V is both on, these are both on disc 4. Lake of the Dead, Tilbury, The Dreaming, Kadacha, Celia, Allison's Birthday, Wilzica. I don't know how to pronounce this one. No. Yeah, okay. Maybe Wilzica? I have no idea. I'm trying to like think about it. Locus? A manuscript of Professor Wittenbach, Clear Cut, Il Demonio, Dark Waters, A Field in England, Anchoress, Penda's Fen, Robin Redbreast, Woodlands, Dark and Days Bewitched. Original soundtrack. That's the last disc. Oh no. The White People book, story, written by Arthur Machen, read by Linda Hayden. Very interesting that that's included. And then The White People Part 2 continued. So there's 15 discs. I'm not sure how many movies that was, but then also it includes some other sort of features here. Features? Could you consider a book or a novella to be a feature? Or is it I don't know if it's like a short story, a novella. It's on 2 discs, so I'm assuming it's somewhat long. Oh. 12 Blu-rays, 3 CDs, 20 feature films, plus 15 plus hours of special features and more. Yeah, the award-winning Woodlands, Dark and Days Bewitched, which I had known about before this box set was like even a thing. So then when this came out, I was interested in seeing that documentary, and then just knowing that there's this film school in a box essentially for folk horror, I definitely wanted to pick it up. So to go along with the documentary, experience 19 of the best known, least known, rarely seen, and thought lost classics of folk horror from around the world. So very glad to have this in my collection. I know that my brother will be interested in seeing at least a few of these. He looked at this and there were things that he was definitely not interested in, but horror has been his favorite genre. I don't actually know if it's his favorite genre now, but as a kid, horror was his favorite. That's everything. Alright, this wasn't too bad. Sometimes I get to the end of a video and I'm like, I'm gonna refilm it, but I like that I went into like other things here, so it's gonna be kind of annoying to edit and probably gonna be pretty choppy, but I'm good with this. So yeah, random titles that I've gotten, some Blu-rays, some 4Ks, one 4K, mostly Blu-rays, and a couple of DVDs here. Yeah, so if you have thoughts on any of these, opinions you want to share, even if it's like about Stranger Things. I mean, I probably spent a good 7 minutes at least talking about Stranger Things. Yeah, I would love to hear from you in the comments. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!